What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. It is Thursday. It is noon Central Time. That means it is time for dispatching live on ATI, where we're going to look at the load boards. We're going to talk about rates. What load board do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Central Dispatch? We can do that. Do you have other load boards you want to talk about? Are there route scouts we can help you with? What about brokers, dispatchers, dealers? We can talk about all of it. And we do. We're going to be here for 90 minutes, and we encourage you to join the live chat. Say hello. Please do say hello. If you missed the show live, you can watch on demand, of course. Put it in the comments below. Please do remember. What do we need to remember? Look around. See if you can find a like and slap it on the screen. Smash that like button. Please do. Thank you so much. Of course, you can share the links, share it on social media, send it to somebody. Listen, you and I both know. There are people in offices, whether alone or with a team or in a building or near the water cooler or getting a snack that, you've had it. You've had it. Come on. You've had it. Bring it to ATI. We want your lost misfit toys, and we want to share that stuff. We got some crazy stuff in the news. So let's get Sue up in here. Please do help me wish a very warm welcome to my Thursday co-host, Sue.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm okay. How about you?
Pretty good. So you're sending me, we're not going to cover it now, but you're sending me an email right before the show because, weekly, you've got a lot. You do a really good job of sending in the news about stuff that bothers you or needs to be talked about. This is one messed up industry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's kind of crazy. It's 2023. I know I keep saying that like the year matters, but you'd think that, I just read an article. GM is buying out salaried employees because they're looking to the robot future. And we're still fighting in the tar pits like it's BC. Right?
Right.
What is up with that?
And what's worse,
Fighting in the tar pit.
is it seems worse than it was.
God, it's
with
horrible.
The people, and we deal with so many different peoples in different parts of this industry every single day, and it's like the people are getting nastier. I don't know what's going on, or if everybody's just having bad days, or what is happening, but it's kind of crazy. It really is. And you get a load, and they don't even put all the information on there. So we're playing detective, or every single day, because they're just too lazy to put that it's Copart. Figure it out. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. So here's a prediction: is that I think what is going to happen, because obviously the transactional rating systems is, kind of sorry, right? Okay.
Well, it's good in some respects, but then it's not.
It's not a step in the right. We're not cleaning up any community here.
No, because I've been reading ratings. When they're calling for a load, and people are putting the stuff on there that I thought was going to happen. Like this one guy was complaining that the car was supposed to be delivered that morning, but got delivered that afternoon, and he was complaining about it and putting in a 4 for whatever timeliness. I'm sorry, they still deliver the same day. Get over it. I don't think that's what it should be used for. When it's been missing for 3 or 4 days or 3 weeks, yeah, I get it. In fact, I had one of those at the beginning of the week. Someone had put in there that they picked up the car, and 3 weeks later it showed up. So I asked them about it. I'm like, I can't give you this load. I can't have that happen, And they're like, that's not true. We broke down and blah, 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 blah. Gary, can you call Gary? I asked him about it, and they're like, well, it's not true. We broke down and so who do I believe? Right. I'd have to go look up the broker to see if it's a legit broker to make sure it's accurate. And because they had all kinds of good ratings on there.
You can't spend your life looking in the rearview mirror, creating another committee. Only the federal government can create 5 committees a day to research crap in the past that's never going to get researched for $1 billion, okay?
Right.
Nobody else has that time. So, I was thinking this, right? Who remembers Craigslist?
I thought Craigslist is still around. Is it
Okay,
not?
I say that because what
No, we
happened
use
after
it.
Craigslist? Do you
Facebook.
remember Angie's List?
Well, Angie's List is that's different though.
Ah, so who talks about Craigslist and who talks about Angie's List? Now, I don't talk about either. I don't care. But Angie's has rebranded to Angie's because I
Oh,
always
has
thought Angie's List was pretty passive aggressive, anyways.
it?
But there was a reason because Craigslist, what? It was a dumpster fire.
Oh.
Do you see the parallel here? Somebody's going to work on a better community. If this is the best Central Dispatch is going to do this year, I say great. Leave the gates open. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
That drawbridge has been lowered. The gates are open. Let's do this thing. And I know you don't like to hear that. You don't want to hear that, right? But it's true. There are people at your company that know this is true. It is true, and the gates are open, and somebody's going to find a way to go through. Don't even need the battering ram. Let's just run right through. The gates are open, everybody. Okay. Thanks for jumping in the live chat. We'll jump in the live chat in a second. We're late to... How many loads do we have? What's going on, Sue?
So we have let me see here. I'd switch to somebody. 30,485. So last week we were at 30,000 and change. So we're about the same. It was 30,121. So, it's not really
Yeah.
a whole lot of difference there.
And
Um,
any
no.
perceptual change?
I mean, it hasn't helped us. I mean,
There we
we're
go.
still suffering and trying to
Still
find
suffering.
loads and banging our heads up against the wall about rates
Okay.
and everything else.
Yeah.
That has not changed.
Hmm.
In fact, one of the drivers asked what's going on, and we're like, man, we should have already been out of this. We're in March now. I mean, almost mid-March, which is even scarier.
Well, we
Um,
did have Crappy Groundhog's Day. Crappy
we
Loads
did,
Groundhog?
yeah, but
6 more weeks of crappy loads.
that was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Well, crappy Loads Groundhog would have been 5 weeks ago. You got one more week of crappy loads.
Okay.
Sorry, Groundhog.
Well, I don't know if that's going to change it, but and I know the only weather that people have been getting up is up north, like
Of course.
Maine,
Yeah, because you need your
New
ski
York.
boots while you try to
That
load
kind of.
on that upper deck.
Well, and let's talk real quick about snowbird season.
Yeah,
So usually
yeah.
snowbird season starts anywhere, I always figure it's the end of March all the way into May. And I think it's going to start a little bit later because they are still getting weather. One of my drivers is like, I want to go to Florida because it's snowbird season. I said, it is not snowbird season. I am not sending you there. I have 4 drivers that live there, and it's hard enough to pull them out of there. I mean, I told them the loads ran from $350 to $500 from Miami all the way to New Jersey and New York. That's what they're listed for. And I think this is my prediction because this is the way it's been going for the last few years. These high rates that we were used to getting for like $1,000, $1,200, you're not going to see that. I think you're going to see in the $900 to $800 range, like they did out of New Jersey and New York to go down. They used to be like New York used to be able to get $1,500, $2,000 for a car, to go down to Florida. We have not seen those rates in a really, really long time. It's more like the $1,000 to $1,200 range when it was happening. Right now, I think they're listed
So,
for like 350, $400.
okay, walk me through how that's possible when everything else in the world has gone up. Is
Yeah.
it that there's thinner margins on the sale of the vehicle, or
Well,
snowbirds not a
Snowbird
sale of
is,
vehicle? So what?
yeah.
What the snowbirds
I
lost some of their golden umbrella
Well,
stands?
I
What
think
happened?
that's going to be it. Plus, honestly, I think people are going to quote them cheaper. That's what I think is happening. I had someone call us. We told them how much we thought it
How
was
is
going to cost. What did
but
we tell them? Like twelve
the
hundred bucks?
cost of everything went up? Who's
Yeah,
hauling these cars? That's why I was
exactly.
like, I'm like, okay, so I asked the question. I know there's a lot more like of those cheap in tow,
Yeah,
like centipede gangs.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Right.
right. Is that the face of car shipping in the future because there's
Um,
no money in it?
well, that's what you're seeing more and more of, right?
I mean, are those guys actually hauling snowbirds? Because if they are, man, the whole world's in trouble.
Well, I think they are doing some of it. We
That's
gave a
nuts,
quote to a
man.
lady for a Porsche, I believe, of $1,200. She called us back and said someone gave her a quote of $700. And I'm just like, do what you want. It's not going to happen. But, here you go.
Did you send her a picture of the wrestling ring?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what's happening. They're giving these low
Nuts,
quotes.
man.
They don't know what they're doing. It's just like, I hate to say it like this, the new dispatchers that are getting into this
Right.
business don't know what they're doing. They're taking loads and going out of route and doing crazy shit. And, I had a guy want to sign up, said that he went with it, and he said this, I went with a company overseas because they were cheaper. Well, you get what you pay for, right? Because we all know that what they're doing is just finding the load. They're not verifying them. They're not putting them in pickup and delivery. They're not even billing them out. So you get what you deserve at that point in time, right? So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Let's jump into the live chat. So we got, let's see, first in here. Oh, John was in here first. Car hauling with Chip. What's up, John? Ty is here. He's in love with you, Sue. Oh, and you love him back. How nice. Welcome, everybody, to the best dispatching show on YouTube. Wow. Oh, it's the only one. What? Right now, there's somebody like, I can't believe there's one. Can we make it 0, honey? Exclusive Logistics of Myrtle Beach. Hey, what's up? Vance is here. Elaine is here. Ken is here. What's going on, everybody? Carlos is here. Artie is here. Everybody's ready to go. Taking seats up front. Getting the drinks. Getting an order of like potato wedges and, maybe some Hawaiian pizza. That sounds pretty good. Everybody wants some snacks. We need like dispatching live snacks.
Yeah.
Constantine is here. That's pretty cool.
Hey, Constantine. He wants you to show that picture I sent to you. The bus. Remember
the bus?
You got the bus picture, didn't you? I sent it to you yesterday. Yeah. You didn't get it?
Do I have the bus?
Yeah, I sent you pictures. He sent me this crazy bus picture hanging off the back.
Oh, are you talking about, there was a van, right? No.
Well, there was a van and a bus on one trailer.
I don't think I saw the bus.
Really?
Can you resend me the bus?
Yeah, let me send you the bus. I'll send it right now.
All right, cool. Yeah, send me the bus. We'll go ahead and jump into some industry news because it is now time. Let's do that. I'm over here surfing. I'm on LinkedIn because Ty's posting stuff about the transportation dumpster fire. Okay, what do we got here? Let's see. Oh, of course, it's Thermonuclear Thursdays. We're so glad you're here to join us. This is ATI out of business. This is where you can, put it in the live chat. We're probably going to talk about some uncomfortable stuff today because we live in a world where you can't do that anymore. Not only can you not talk about uncomfortable stuff, but this is like the most jacked up industry we could find. So between those two things, wrong button. There we go. What are you going to do? All right. Thermonuclear Thursdays. That's what it is. Okay. And we've had a really big hit lately with the Sue is Pissed series. Now, just to rehash it, because it is so much fun and maybe they're watching. What are you pissed about?
The transactional ratings and how I don't even know. Okay, first off, we can't give ratings only after, what was it, 2.9. Everything, if you didn't do it before then, you're screwed. You can't give a rating. Although, by the way, I think I sent you something about this too. One of my drivers got a rating on a load as a negative, which is impossible, right? Because we can't give negatives. It's supposed to be transactional. And he just got it this last week. And I said, how is this even possible? And they said, oh, no, that's not possible. And I'm like, I've got a picture of it on my screen where he has a negative and I'm supposed to dispute it. And I disputed it in the old system, by the way. Old system. Just did it yesterday. Yeah.
So
and they told me that's not possible. No, I don't even know how it happened. I think it's a glitch. But they told me, oh, no, that's not possible. And I'm looking right at it. And if I can figure out how to make a screenshot on my screen,
that is
I will
hilarious.
send it to them. But yeah, they gave him a negative for a late pickup no show, and they canceled the load. So I went in and disputed it and said they canceled the load, and we shouldn't be getting a negative, and sent them the paperwork. But they're saying that's not happening. That's impossible. It happened. It happened.
Oh, have you heard like you hear like things like upside down world?
Yeah, that's what it feels like
That's
sometimes. Yeah.
that's what it is. It's upside down world. They actually,
Yeah.
what do they? They live on the other side of the Demigorgon Stranger Things thing. You know, there's somebody in the cubicle right now. Like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We live in the Demigorgon Strange. Okay. Well, that's. I mean, stay pissed, Sue.
Yeah. Well, that's one.
Stay
But my
pissed.
biggest pissed
Okay.
off thing is the fact that you can't give a rating if they don't deliver the car.
Oh, I think that's in here. Okay, hold on to that thought. So
Okay.
this is the dispatching live effect. We know it's no fun, but you know, you're so used to not hearing the truth. Whoa. The truth? Wow. Yeah. That's what the 80s felt like. Oh, yeah. Maybe the 90s. It is a transportation dumpster fire, and we have, well, we got the cocaine bear to prove it. Okay.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, bear. All right, we're following the disconnect between sales and operations, which is the nice way of saying it. We get these questions. Hey, how do we file a claim on a brokerage?
Right. And I tried to answer him. He's never answered me back. As we all know, that was my main question is what was the name of the broker to make sure it was really a broker.
Okay.
And then they never answered. So if it is a broker, you go into
As
Central.
opposed to a carrier, right?
Right.
Okay.
A carrier, import, exporter.
Because you get a carrier, what if it's a carrier without a broker's license, what can you do?
Nothing. Maybe go break somebody's nose. That's about it. But anyways,
Mhm.
on the brokerage part, when you go into Central, you pull up the brokerage, all their information will be down there in their packet, which, as I told you guys, you don't know how to find that packet usually, but you go to the preferred block and usually that's where you find it, or you check in the new rating system and it'll say company info and it'll all be down there for you. So once you find out who your the place is that they've got their brokerage through, then you contact them. And good luck, because some of those companies out there don't answer you. Anyways, you'll fill out a packet, you'll give them all the information, and then you hope that you get your money, because what they're going to do is contact that broker and say, you need to pay these people. Here's their, packet, whatever. You need to pay them, or we're going to shut up your bond. And you don't want that to happen. So that's what you're looking for.
Which system do you believe in more? Filing a claim on a broker or Central Dispatch transactional ratings?
Probably filing a claim on a broker bond.
Oh, man. I knew you were going to say that's rough. Okay, but it does work. I mean, it's worth doing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the only time it doesn't work is if you've got... Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Blessies.
Thank you. If they've got, like, they're going out of business, for example, like if you see on Central that they're getting negatives left and right, that means they're going out of business. You need to get in get into the bond collection right away. But this is how they work it. It's not a first serve kind of thing. It's a split up whatever's left of the broker bond if there's multiples and they've gone out of business.
Oh.
So
that's kind of how
that's
how bankruptcy works, I think,
right.
is you just get a slice of whatever pie is left.
Yep.
Now, question, what red flags can you look for before, let's
look them up.
we know, listen, here's the problem. We know you're begging for the load.
Right.
So they got you right there.
Right.
But what red flags do you look for before you just go,
I
I'll
looked
book it?
at their ratings to see if they're paying people. Like
Okay,
there
but
was something on here the other day had 14 negatives for non-payment.
All right, are those ratings still reliable? That's what I'm trying to also understand.
Yeah, the non-payment stuff, should be absolutely reliable.
Okay.
Because that's going to be like you or I as a transporter saying I didn't get paid. So you know that it's happened.
So Central Dispatch hasn't screwed that up.
No.
Okay.
That's the stuff you're going to look
What
for.
did they screw up, allegedly?
Well, like I said, we can't give ratings for companies that cancel on us. I mean, it's great for the transporter. Because the transporter can call and they had a Copart car they're supposed to pick up exactly today, and they can call you and
hold
cancel,
on.
and there's
They
nothing
did
to do.
something that helps transporters?
Yeah, that helps
What?
them. Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Um, and so we can't give them feedback. And what's the point then? Like I said, what's the point of putting exactly on anything? Because they could cancel at any time and you can't do anything about it.
And if the load cancels
You're
for
screwed.
whatever reason, I mean anything,
Yeah.
then
There's
you
nothing you can
can't
do.
leave a negative because it never got picked up.
It never got picked up or delivered because what they're saying
What?
is you have to actually have like a
So you can't
actual
leave a
load.
Yelp unless you actually got the food.
Right. Right.
So if they
So that's
lie
crazy.
and never show up, no
Yeah.
Yelp.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You can't
What's
leave a
the thinking
feedback
there?
unless I don't know. I don't think they realized what they were doing by doing it this way. Because and I explained to them when I had a meeting with them and I said, a driver doesn't pick up on a certain day, they're supposed to pay the Copart fee, or they'll cancel
Yeah,
because
that's a
they
big
don't want to
deal.
pay the
Yeah.
Copart fee.
No
So,
dealer needs to hear that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and that's what happens is I've had it happen I don't know how many times.
Wow.
There's nothing I can do about it. They're like, I'm sorry, I can't pick up. I didn't make the time. And all I can do is just put it back on Central. You can't give them a rating.
I just thought of the new mascot for the new Central Dispatch transactional ratings. It is Marcy whiffing the football from Charlie Brown.
There you go.
There you go. Nice job, Marcy. That'll be our new code name.
Yeah.
That way
I've
they
got-
can't
I've
come
got some
after
other
us.
ones.
Good job, Marcy.
Anyways, but yeah, that's the biggest, I think, fail in this whole transactional
That
rating
is
system.
that is such that is such a whiff.
Yeah.
And does that show like a total lack of understanding of how
Yes.
the community works?
Yes. I think that's exactly what it shows. Because here's
That's
the thing, these
mind-boggling.
people can go around now. It's like all these people used to have like late no-show negatives. And so then I knew what to expect from them, right? If they didn't show up, I'm not going to give them a Copart car. I'm not going to give them an IA
Oh,
car
yeah.
because I can't guarantee they're going to show up when they say they do. Now none of that's going to happen. How can the only way you can give them a late
And-
pickup or late delivery is after delivered the car, then you can say, well, they were late. But that's not going to help anybody in the future to know that these people are regular late not showers. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's also like because there's preventative maintenance and then there's
Right.
fixing it after the fact.
Right.
Knowing somebody doesn't show is a way of avoiding a bullet.
Right.
But the new policy is, well, you're just going to have to take a bullet and we'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's happening.
Good job, Marcy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now, on
That
the other
really
hand,
is
if
high
they pick
tech.
up and they've done crap, which is what happened to us today, I am going to write a full thing on there about this company and how they talked to us and what they did after they deliver, of course.
Right, so
But-
now you got to hire a writer to give
Yeah.
proper reviews.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe there'll be more dispatcher bloggers.
yeah. Probably.
They probably will. Hey, do you need a blogger to review?
ratings.
Like, yeah. That's pretty fun. Okay, show me the truck. We're gonna get to the bus. I know you're all dying to see the bus. And by the way, we still have another hour of bagging on Marcy. So please do join us. Yeah. So this was on Facebook, and what?
Took a
Yeah.
corner. Took
Yeah.
a corner. Is
What
what
do you-
I guarantee you.
This is the problem, is that I think it's not that they did anything specifically wrong, but this setup kind of blows.
Well,
Is it
this,
both?
what
Yeah.
it looks to me like either they turned, like I can't see if there's a third vehicle. Can you see if there's a
I
third
can't
vehicle?
see. I can't tell.
So if there's not a third vehicle and they have the two on the top and the middle,
Right.
that's gonna flip you
Yeah.
every time. Either going up an off ramp or an on ramp that are tilted. I've had it happen with one of my drivers. It was their first trip out and they did exactly that. Or they turned too short or too quickly, too fast, and it flipped them. That would
So
be my guess.
yeah, well, so then I think
that's the Land Rover in the background.
so this is in hotshot trucking. I think this is probably one of the more popular Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Someone forgot to make sure the shafts were in place. The gradients have to be tied to the rods before the shafts are adjusted. I do this all the time. It's a shame the drakes must have broke off because the rods were either too tight or too loose. This guy says, "What do you f?"
Yeah,
Can you
what
point
is
out
it?
a picture?
Freaking knock-
See, and I tell you, it is. It's. I found, that's why I highlighted this. Most of everybody else was like, loser,
Oh, shit happens, man.
Yeah, well, and I mean,
It's a
I
rough
don't.
one to learn
Well,
as a driver.
here's the problem. They're selling the product,
Right.
and you need to carry as much as you can to
Yeah.
break even,
Right.
because they didn't tell you that on the YouTube videos.
Right. And nobody trained you how to load your trailer and what
Yeah,
things to watch for.
you jumped right
You
in,
just told you you're
feet
going to make $1
first.
million rolling in the
Yeah,
bank, and that's
all
it.
that stuff. You're gonna
Yeah.
roll around and be a pilot or whatever.
Yeah.
And now here you are. And what really sucks is, what's it like to try to recover from a moment like this? I don't even know.
It could sometimes put people completely out of
I
business.
would think so.
It could.
And it
That's a
would,
Land Rover on the back, isn't it?
well, it would rattle you and that's the thing too. It's usually like too
Like,
nice a cars
yeah.
in this situation, because you're trying to maximize money.
Yep. And
It's
those are probably might be totaled depending on
Oh
damage
yeah.
to 'em, you know what I mean?
I know, man.
And then you have
It's
to worry about if you
bad.
had enough insurance, because they tell people only put, $100,000 insurance on a 3 car. I know that sounds like it's enough, but when you're hauling that, if that's a Land Rover like I think it is, that's what it looks like. That could be $150,000 vehicle right there, depending on which version of the Range Rover it is.
And Carlos says he's not using a fifth wheel. If he was, the truck would have turned over also.
Ah,
Yeah, good point.
yep, yep.
Well, and you'll see those weird
I've seen
Jimmy
it.
rigs. Yeah, like, I've shared some strange machinations.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah, yeah. I mean,
unfortunate.
we've seen crazy crap
But,
before.
everyone, oh well, it is what it is. No problem. Just make another get rich quick video, everybody. Yay! Or show how it's really done. This is Jeff Watt. Jeff Watt was with us Friday on the Car Hauling Equipment Show. Thanks for sending this in, Jeff. We do like to, and this is why we call them super truckers, but there is a reason. They've been doing it for decades, and they
Hmm.
know what they're doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so, hug a super trucker. Maybe listen. And next time he says wedgie, maybe he's got a reason. Here's the night shot.
I will say this though, if you're
Yeah, I
in a
know.
3 or 4 car hauler,
Yeah, I know.
don't go to this unless you know what you're doing.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because Ty will say this is where you want to get to. But, yeah, well, no, and that's and this is why, again, where's Car Hauler University or whatever?
Right.
Is
I
there
agree.
literally nowhere to go except some,
YouTube video?
yeah, you got YouTube videos and associations with locked doors. Is there anywhere else? Oh, and Facebook groups. But
Unless you know
do you
somebody.
learn when
Dude,
you go? I mean, can you actually learn?
I don't think so. I mean,
You can't
if
learn
you
your
go to
business on
CDL school,
Facebook. You
they don't
can't.
teach you how to load or do any of that stuff, as far as I know, right?
Well, right, CDL school is great,
Just
but yeah,
driving.
that's not car hauling
No,
business.
it's not.
There
It's
is
not
no
teaching how
car
to
hauling
load.
business school.
No, other than people watching YouTube and
Right.
they get
Well,
fricked up because of it. Because I've had people
Well,
like,
yeah.
I have a driver that he's only been working us for a couple months. He went on YouTube to figure out what to buy for a truck and trailer, and he bought a piece of crap trailer, and he's been having problems with it ever since. And that he learned it off of YouTube. Wrong answer, right? Oh,
Hey,
this is
hey.
for sale. I had these
Oh
here
yeah,
for
we're gonna
Okay.
do me a favor. Hey everybody, please do. Really, you gotta. I know you gotta look hard. Please see if you can scrape a like off the floor and slap it on the screen. It really helps. It helps this channel, this show, get out to other folks that are watching. So see if you can find that. Yeah. So what is this, Sue?
This guy has this truck and the trailer for sale. He's getting out of the business. I think something happened. I can't remember what happened. Anyways, but he's selling either singly or together. I think you have the trailer picture too.
By the way, I do. I was going to say, okay, so does this confirm that half the people watching don't really like this channel? They just watch to see if they're going to get busted?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Anyways, all right. Oh, we just lost half the audience? That's good. Okay, 2012 Freightliner Cascadia for sale. So, you know what I like about this? This is like a really good...
it's a really good flyer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who made this?
the guy that's selling it. They
Wow.
I don't even know. They contacted me via text, and they were just asking me if I knew of anybody that was interested. And I said, I don't have anybody interested, but send me your stuff and we'll put it on there and see if somebody else does. I don't know how much are they asking for the trailer. Was it 40?
So here's the trailer.
Yeah.
Yep, 40 for the
The
Sun
Sun
Country.
Valley. Yeah.
Sun Valley, oh thanks. Um looks a bit used.
Yeah.
2011.
I don't know. I'd see, and I might know whether any of this is the right price or not.
Huh.
'Cause I don't
Can't say I've
buy
seen that
stuff.
trailer very often. You know?
I have one well, that we took apart in my backyard over here and sold it for metal.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was an '01 or
That
something
was
like that.
really nice. Is that on the ad?
Mm.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's your route scout? Let us know if you want us to look for something. And Ty says hug a used car sales guy. That actually is pretty good business advice. I know it seems kind of crazy. And Ty
Okay,
thinks that the
so
prices are a little high on both. Okay,
see,
that's
I kind of
interesting.
thought that Sun Valley was
Did
priced a little
you?
high, but I don't know. I don't know what's out there. I know what it costs to buy new on some of the
Okay,
stuff, but
I guess that's where I was trying to go.
comparing it,
I think 40 in today's market might be a little bit high, but
yeah.
at the same time, I mean, we were talking about how, like, okay, so Midwestern, we were doing the car hauling equipment show last
Mhm.
Friday, and Midwestern car carriers, they've got this awesome shop,
Mhm.
and they can like take used equipment and just,
Turn it into brand new.
oh my gosh, it's
Yeah,
awesome what they can do
yeah,
at Midwestern car carriers. So if
right.
in anyone that missed, if you missed the car hauling equipment show, I don't share the link to every show because some shows are just okay. But the car hauling equipment show from last Friday, I just put the link in the live chat, was awesome. And as a follow up to that, I haven't created it yet. You know what we're doing Tuesday night? We're going to do a car haul, an asset heavy car haul business owner show
Oh, okay.
with John Larrick and Derek Hopkins of Fine Line Transportation. John Larrick of LT Services and Derek Hopkins is he hasn't Derek hasn't been back on the show in, I don't know, like a year or two. So it's going to be cool. Hey, did you get that memo? John shared this a few weeks ago. I had missed it. It was in my emails. He says he got stopped by Tennessee DOT. They said his overhang was obstructing his taillights, and they made him move all the cars forward. Are you ready to see the pictures?
Yes.
Are you feeling the cold sweats?
Go for it. Really?
It's hilarious. Okay, now wait a minute. That might be after he moved it, because here's a couple other shots. But
That's still, I mean,
I don't get it. Now let's go to this. I don't know. I don't get it.
I mean,
You know, this one, but I
maybe,
mean,
but
if you were driving like a Cybertruck, maybe you couldn't see it because you're 12 feet off the
off the
ground.
ground. You're right. You're not a car. You're right. That could be part of it.
I don't
I
know.
mean, that picture doesn't look bad because that's who
I
he was
know.
following,
Is
but
that after? I don't know, but
yeah, it's hard to tell.
I don't know. But it does seem pretty nitpicky.
Yeah, it sounded like somebody was having a bad day, wanted to pull
Yeah,
somebody over, is
and,
what it
and
sounds like.
it's one of those things where it's like, this is the problem. And we were talking about like temperature and mood, and can you imagine you got your phone's blowing up and you're trying to book a load and you're being argued about chicken nuggets and all this crap, and then you get pulled over because you got to move your car forward 6 inches. Like, come on, man.
So I went and looked up. Oh yeah, we got to talk about uShip here
Oh
a second.
yeah. Uh-oh.
Because I
Yeah.
had two other dry companies call me. Um, I was looking up the trailer price on this. There's an '01 Sun Valley with the
Oh.
tractor.
Carlos says he needs a flag hanging. Maybe that
Yeah,
was the problem.
maybe that would be the. But it's
And he
selling for
just and they did.
160.
You know what? He probably got sick of. he got sick of seeing the overturns and the what, and he would, yeah, you're right. I think he was having a tough day. He'd had it with, whatever. What were you saying? I'm sorry I cut you off.
Well, I was looking up the price on that trailer. There's an
Oh.
'01 Sun Valley truck and trailer, and it's an '01. I don't know what the year on the truck is, but they're selling it for 167. The truck doesn't look brand new either. God, that sounds high too, doesn't it? Let's see, what's years? Oh, the Freightliner is a 2014, and the '01 Sun Valley, they're asking 167. That sounds really high.
Wow, what?
Yeah.
167 grand for the truck and trailer?
Truck and trailer for an
What?
'01 Sun Valley and a 2014 Freightliner.
What are they banking on? That it's hard to get parts? What's their angle? It does sound really high. That sounds really high.
High.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they aren't out of the world for prices. Then I don't know.
I don't know, man. Well, and there's a lot. Isn't there a lot of equipment available right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at the. It's called Market Book, and there's a 2016 Sun Valley trailer for $100,000 on it.
Have you seen the guys on? They show a picture on Facebook of like a wad of money, and they're like, "I'm ready to buy." Have you seen this stuff?
No,
It's weird. I mean, only in auto transport.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't see, like, on restaurantsareus.com, some guy's like, hey, I'm ready to buy your restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you?
No.
I can't think of another industry this crazy.
Yes. So,
uShip. What is this?
They've been hacked. Big time.
Now, before we say they have been, where's this information coming from?
Well, from three of drivers. So, three of owner-operator drivers, and two of them are people we dispatch for. Alina had her own account with her old company. She got over 100 quotes coming to her emails saying she was quoting motorcycles, bicycles. I mean, just crazy crap, right? And so she tried to contact them. Finally, she still hasn't got a hold of them, by the way, but they shut down her uShip account. Then I had one of my dispatchers call me from Texas and said that his uShip had been hacked as well and was giving out quotes to a whole bunch of people too, and he went and changed the username and password. Last week, Vance had the same thing happen to him. Yesterday, I was getting emails that we had taken for this driver that I hadn't worked for in 2 years, by the way. And he had taken 2 vehicles and picked them up, never delivered them. They're missing. And I'm like, this guy's been out of business for 2 years. I believe your uShip has been hacked. I really believe that's what's going on.
Wow.
So 4 times in a week's time, yeah, there's some hacking going on.
Well, I can't wait until all the vehicles are connected to the internet, can't you?
Wow,
that'll be great. Yeah. I was reading an article. I don't think I saved it, shared it, whatever. But this cop was talking about how he was trying to help. There was people in a Tesla stranded in the snow or something. Really cold weather.
Yeah.
Cop pulls over, and they're trapped in the car. Only one door will open because it's electric and everything runs off the system. They can only open one door. Luckily, they could open one door.
We told their dispatcher they had to do that.
And then they clean up on aisle 5.
Yeah.
So no, you're good. I love it. So they could only open one door, and then they were able to get out, but they couldn't even open the glove box. The cop was like, can I see your registration or whatever? I don't know. Couldn't open the glove box because the battery was dead or whatever, and couldn't roll down windows. Couldn't open the trunk. I mean, like, oh my gosh. So this whole ACES, autonomous, connected, electric, shared. The future of vehicles, like until we get all these things sorted out, which could be never, Neo, Matrix, Red Pill, like, it's just going to keep getting nuts. I assume that's where, like, if you're just a Cro-Magnon, like, nut job, you'll probably be fine because there's going to be too many problems to ever really, Craigslist forever, right? We don't need Angie to come clean up the Craig. Nobody says that. All right, let's keep moving. Let's see. Good afternoon. I love these emails. They're so good. I think there's a blogger dispatcher. Okay. Hey, on the new rating system, the vehicles have to be hauled completely to receive a rating. Cancellations will no longer be applicable for ratings.
Yeah. So what does that do for us?
Why?
I mean, do they not understand cancellations are really important for us as brokers, as anything? We need to know that stuff.
But Sue, the email's so good, it sounds like it's real. Dear, good afternoon. We sound like we're right. Thank you for your inquiry, but we're right. We are unable to see your point of view. In giving you, we've done a lot to beef this up. We've worked hard. Good afternoon. On the new rating system, transactional, you have a 5-star rating.
Yeah, we don't know that you didn't pick up 5 cars before that.
Since we don't really work in, we don't ship cars. We just sell the tech. And if you continue to bother us, there's a phone number. Maybe you can be assisted. Thank you. Regards. Close? All right. Cut that. Okay. Unfair? Am I being unfair?
No. I mean, this is totally the truth.
I don't
understand.
understand.
What is the point of us not knowing about cancellations? We need to know these things.
Totally. It's crazy.
I can't understand why they would think that that would be okay. It's because they're not on the road. They're not doing this like we are.
Yeah, they don't ship cars.
They don't ship cars. They don't transport cars. They don't do any of this. So they don't grasp the concept of how important that is. So here's another one. Sue's pissed again.
Sue's pissed again. Oh,
Same thing that I've been saying all along. This is the problem with the rating system. This doesn't work.
And here's the thing: at ATI, we don't ship cars either, so we can actually match the passive-aggressive nature. You can't cancel our loads because we don't ship cars either. So I guess we'll just kind of do this kind of like tug of war for a while. Let's just see where this goes. All right. And oh crap, these guys are talking about it at trade shows. Yep. We're going to be at Car Conference at the end of March, and Ty is going to give a dumpster fire presentation, and then I'm going to have a panel the next day. It's going to be great. You're going to want to learn more about it. Oh, here's the bus.
There's the bus.
So what is this?
Look at that. Look at the overhang.
Oh, my God.
Constantine took the picture of this yesterday.
You're not driving through Tennessee, are you?
Hopefully. Definitely not driving through Missouri.
Oh, my God.
You're
no
done.
kidding. Missouri would eat you for breakfast.
Oh, yeah. You'd be done.
Yeah, dude.
You're going to be taking that bus off and driving it across the border so you can get just through Missouri. Which I've had happen before, by the way.
No, exactly. You just unload it and drive it. Yeah, dude, exactly. That's why you have a team. Well, I mean, that's a good-looking load from where I'm at, I guess. That was pretty awesome. It probably paid good. Do you know? Does anybody know what that thing pays?
No. Constantine just took pictures of it while he was sitting there watching the guy do it.
And it's a run and drive, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
What's that like to load? What's it when when you're first pulling it up?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, how's that? How's that?
Scraped.
Right? That's what I'm
That's
thinking.
such a huge wheelbase. It probably
Kaboom!
Yeah. Hopefully they did it off-site of the customer
Oh
that they
my
picked it
God.
up from.
Do you have to load that on a hill, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That is really interesting. I bet that's a good paying load though.
I would hope so.
And that is the equipment. If you're going to pull that off, that's the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's impressive. Give that an applause. I think there's from the back.
So Dee Dee is saying about take 60 days to get a rating. I don't think that's what they told you. You have up to 60 days to give that rating. Like it used to be you could only give a rating up to 30 days.
Right.
Now they've changed it. You can give a rating up to 60 days because I said something about that because some people don't pay for 30 days. How are we supposed to give a rating if we're cut off at 30 days? So you can give ratings. They're in your ratings under pending, by the way. If you're a broker, or a transporter, there's a pending thing at the top. It's with a little red thing, and those are all the people you can rate, just so you know. Now, here's the trick of this, too, if you want to really look at it this way. If you don't want somebody else to give you something bad, if you've said something bad about them, you wait till the 59th day, put the rating on there, and they can't respond. So look at it that way.
The 59th day? That's awesome.
Helena came up with that one.
And that's what makes this auto transport. You can do whatever you want.
Yep.
You can literally still do whatever you want. I will say this. Thank you, Central Dispatch, for allowing us to continue to do whatever we want. That is awesome. For instance,
$17,000.
you can say how many who cares? We got 28 million carriers. Who cares? You can do whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, Cocaine Bear's one of them. So what?
I so gotta go see that movie, man.
Oh, well. Well, so Ty says you don't.
Why? Is it bad? Have you seen it? It looks hilarious, man.
I know. Well, so that's what's great. I apologize, Ty. I'm just going to say this, and it won't affect the conference at all. But Cocaine Bear is like working in auto transport. Because you think it's a comedy, right?
Right. And it's really... There you go.
Cocaine Bear. Yeah. Enough said. For example, like, dude, where's my car? Cocaine Bear said, I'll be there in the morning. Where's Cocaine Bear? Who knows? He's at the bar. He paid in. He got cash on pickup. Good luck with that. And then, well, you know what? Cocaine Bear blames the dispatcher. It was the dispatcher. Or, whatever. It certainly wasn't us. It wasn't me. So speaking of, what is going on here? This is going to get, okay, you thought the show was ugly? Stay tuned. What is this, Sue?
Well then. Okay.
Let's do it.
So, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but we're getting a lot of this. And I'm telling you, nobody calls Fisher Shipping or Metrogistics or anybody like that and cusses them out, or they'll never haul for them again, right? And these are the dispatchers doing this. The transporter who they're dispatching for has no clue that they're about to get new transactional ratings that say what a horrible, nasty person and everything that I'm going to write on there about this company. And they have no idea of any of this because they think they're dispatchers out there doing the right thing. They're not. And this lady, they were supposed to pick up a Copart car for us. Told me they had an appointment at 4 o'clock yesterday. I found out from my owner that they didn't pick up until this morning. And so there's $25 due of storage. We told them they had to pay the storage. And they said, no, we're not going to pay the storage. We don't have to pay the storage. And we said, well, you've had this car for 2 days. You told me you had an appointment at 4. Not my problem if you didn't show up when you were supposed to. They tried to claim they didn't have an appointment and that the Copart just told them to come on in, which you and I both know does not happen. Copart never says, just come on in.
No, that's never happened. Actually, no. that has never happened.
No, that does not happen.
You can call Copart and they'll tell you that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, you got to have an appointment. So I have a text where it says they had a 4 o'clock appointment, and I told them they had to pay the $25 broker fee, and they said, no, we're not. We're not paying it. Not our problem, not our fault. We couldn't get an appointment, and we told them you've had the car since the 6th. You were picking up on the 9th. Or what's today? Today's the 9th? Oh, so they're picking up on the 8th. They had the car since the 6th. They were picking up on the 8th. I texted them twice yesterday, told me they had an appointment at 4 o'clock, and then they didn't pick up. So, as per instructions, in my contract, you're paying that storage fee of $25. It's your fault. And she seriously screamed at us and hung up on us and said the nastiest crap ever to us, like we're the ones in the wrong. And like Jen explained to her, we have 15 drivers on the road. We make appointments for our drivers all day, every day. And she goes, well, I don't know where my driver's at. I don't know when to make an appointment. And like Jen said, well, you should. If you're a good dispatcher, you're going to know exactly where your driver is. And you ask him what time to make an appointment. And if that doesn't work out, then you change the appointment for them. And so she hung up on us again. Anyways, and Jen told her too. She said, just so you know, the new transactional ratings, you will soon find out what is going to happen to your company when I post this. And she said, I don't care. Do whatever the hell you want. And hung up the phone on us. And this is a regular thing lately.
Yeah. Well, no, and you've talked about it before, and this is a reason why we know. See, it sucks. It sucks all around because here I am on Dispatching Live. The word dispatching is in the name of the show. And I don't know if I defend dispatching. I mean, I defend the business of dispatching. Right?
Yeah.
Well, and I see, I mean, it is actually, I mean, even brokers have dispatchers. Dispatchers are dispatchers.
Yep.
Whatever. But the point is that here, thanks very much, crappy dispatcher, for sucking at dispatching and making the industry as terrible as it can be.
Yeah.
Thank you, sucky dispatcher.
Yeah, because that's where all this dispatchers, you know, were the bad people. Is from dispatchers like that.
So the only way is to, you know, is to by removing the Cocaine Bear Craigslist sucky dispatchers. Again, thank you, Central Dispatch, for not fixing the problem so that somebody else can fix it. I'm serious, man. I'm positive, and make no mistake. People contact me about asking me, what can we do to make this better? What can we do to help improve the community?
Right.
So if there are companies working on improving the community and the number one load board isn't going to solve this problem, somebody is going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And I'm rooting for them. Heck yeah. Let's do this. Let's figure out how to keep crappy dispatchers off of what's going to become the new number one load board. Okay?
Yeah, and I don't know if
let's do that.
Emails or texts. For last week,
how about this?
Meet up with dispatching companies, texting and emailing my companies.
What if the new load board had a place where you could actually leave information about everybody that sucks in this industry?
Yeah,
including crappy ass dispatchers.
Yeah.
Huh?
Except
now there's an interesting idea.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
I think you could Yelp those people.
Well, maybe.
If you knew the company.
But that's my point, and that's where, like, I bring up Discord. I don't even know if anybody knows what. Do you know what Discord is?
I don't know. My son has a Discord account. I keep getting emails saying
the kids are on this all day long.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And how do I know this? Because I have two boys. All right. I have two boys, and they're teenagers, and they're all about Discord all day.
Yeah.
It's how they can communicate and connect with everybody.
Okay.
If we had, I don't know how we do this. Like a carrier has time to freaking be on Discord. I know.
Right.
I don't believe that either. I'm not numb to reality.
Right.
But we're gonna need the next level communications system where you can actually get, like, if there's a nasty, rude dispatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Write them up. Yeah.
Yeah. Put it. Yeah, man. I mean, if you're gonna be nasty and rude, well, okay, that's fine.
And, see, and that's just it. That
we should all know.
May not even realize this is happening with his
exactly.
dispatcher.
Can you imagine being Cocaine Bear Transport and your nasty, rude dispatcher is making your life worse?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
And it's happened before.
And this is why dealers don't want to talk to transporters.
Well, there you go. That's true, too.
They're all crazy.
Like, well, or their dispatchers are, one of the two.
And not to mention here, there's the word, okay? Foreign dispatchers. Hit it, Sue.
Well, I hate to say it like that, but that's
I know, me too.
Are.
Well, how do we do this?
They're contacting people overseas.
That boy, Leah Thomas, sure can't swim. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah. They decided this was a niche for them or something. Because I've had a couple of them come from these companies, and they don't verify. They don't do anything but get the load. That's it. That's all they do. And then they're moving on. And then you got to deal with them. We're calling them to find out where the driver is, and they don't even know where the hell the driver is.
And anybody that knows me or takes meetings with me knows that I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, it's not
everybody's welcome in this community. That's why we can actually talk about this. Because we're not, this isn't a bunch of I was watching another webinar yesterday, and they were talking about culture. Oh my God, people that talk about culture usually don't have any.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
So this crap?
Well, and it does. I mean, these people, just like this that happen, gives someone a bad taste in their mouth when you say dispatcher. And it's from people like that. I mean, I guarantee they're not all like that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm telling you, these people that are usually overseas.
But that's the thing. If you're overseas and you're frustrated or with the internet and whatever, and the world's gone crazy, and you feel like you've been overbullied on TikTok or whatever, and you're in your cubicle 2,000 miles away from everybody else. Yeah, man, let the rockets fly. What do I care?
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care. But that doesn't mean that everybody has to deal with them.
No.
At least call it out. I don't know.
Well, and it's funny because I will kibosh people that do that stuff to me. And I've had the owner call me later on and say, why won't you let me haul for you? And I said, because of your dispatcher. He cussed me up one side and down the other.
Oh, exactly. Oh, there we go. Exactly.
You'll never haul for me because of that.
And that's where you have okay, I'm just going to go.
So next. I don't think there is a filter for Twig.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a really good question.
It is a good question.
But I don't think so.
It would be helpful if the people that listed the cars would put on there need Twig, so you don't even have to bother calling these people.
Yeah, but Sue, you'd have to clickety-click to even find out.
Well, but see, I still put everything on there. If it says it's Twig, or if it says it's at Mannheim, or if it's... And you're right, nobody's clicking down to see where the cars are at. Now, not everybody does that. I'm probably one of the few that puts on there that it's at Mannheim, or it's residence to residence, or it's going to the port, you need a Twig card, or something like that. I wish they would all do it, because it would save all of us as dispatchers or transporters a lot of time of making the phone call. And sometimes you make that phone call 5 or 6 times before they finally answer the damn phone and say, oh, it's going to the port, I'm sorry, you need a Twig card.
Which is part of the bait and switch, which makes this wrestling ring work so well.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, what is e-modal? Good question, Shamel. What is e-modal? Is that a freight term? Because I don't know that term.
I think that might be a freight term.
E-modal. I'm going to Google that. What I like about it, too, and we are, this is...
So it's a thing for the ports, Jen said.
Oh, it's for the ports. Oh, I do see that in the ports. But I still don't know what it means. E-modal. Huh. But we did have that ports show. So I'll tell you what, Shamel, you know what you can do? We had this awesome show with Ubong Aquera, the Ship Africa Ocean Export Show. Mm-hmm. Here's what you want to do. Let's see. Ocean Africa. I'm going to do Ocean Africa show link. This show... And it was awesome because Ubong Aquera of Ship Africa is awesome. Seriously, go watch that show. There's Ubong's Ubi. His contact info is in the description, and you get the answer for sure if it has to do with ocean shipping. And he saw it on Metrogistics. Interesting. I wonder why. And well, it must have been going to the port or something, right? So this is good. I mean, talking about TWIC, what does TWIC stand for? There's going to be somebody that doesn't know what a TWIC is, and that's fine. There are no stupid questions.
TWIC means? What does it mean?
TWIC stands for Transportation Worker Identification Credential.
Ah, okay. And it takes a few months to get that.
Oh,
They do a full background check on you and everything.
Yeah, you are not going to be filling out paperwork while you sit there waiting.
Yeah.
This is a long... Because it's TSA, right? Right there.
Yep. TSA, yep.
TSA will put... Yeah. You are in a long line.
Make sure you haven't got a felony or anything like that.
Right. If you have a felony, don't...
Yeah. Don't even apply, man.
That's right. If you have a felony, don't apply. Okay. Is that signed at the port? Should be. Which sucks. I mean, it sucks. What sucks is it's easier to get you know what really sucks about felonies? It's easier to get one than you think. When you see felony laws, you're like, wow, that's easy. Like, I think there's a housewife that has a felony. Have you seen this? Whatever. You know, the reality housewives. The felony reality housewives. That's awesome.
There are also rules
That could be a show. I think there are now more than one felony housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Port of Baltimore, you must register with eModal. Ah, you must register with eModal. That's interesting. Is there a link for that?
Probably. Yeah, in fact, when I went in there to put up eModal, there was a login. So yeah, there is.
Port of Baltimore eModal. Interesting.
So Laura says it's 30. I've had it take longer than that. So maybe it just depends on
I went to emodal.com.
who you are, what you got going on. Yeah, fingerprints. Yeah, definitely fingerprints are required.
I gotta allow cookies. I hate allowing cookies before I know if I even want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like you're at the store and you're walking around. You just want to walk into like a coffee shop and they're like, hey, do you allow cookies?
Dee Dee says that if you show up at the port and you're behind on child support, they'll arrest you.
What?
Okay. Well, it is a government thing, so it's possible. Wow. Holy crap. So don't be behind on child support either, I guess.
What's Barney Fife like when that happens? Andy? Okay, I'll tell you what. Do me a favor, before we forget, stick around. We'll be right back after this.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Welcome back to Dispatching Live. It's Thursdays, and if you're looking for a dispatch service, Sue at Murphy Auto Transport Services wants to take your call, and she's going to ask you some questions because it's not a one-size-fits-all. Let's make sure that we're on the same page. We're all professionals here. You can call Sue, 417-273-0021. Phone numbers in the live chat. Email address, murphyautotransportservices.com. Sue is with us now. We got 30 more minutes left in this show. Here's one for you. Hey, I'm in a unique situation looking for a car shipping calculator that I can add to my website via API. Now, why would somebody want one of those?
So I'm assuming for giving quotes out?
Exactly. And you know, we saw this earlier. I forgot to mention it. I think Bold Logistics said, what's a good broker CRM? So what are we talking about? Broker CRM, car shipping calculator. What in the world are we talking about?
I would assume it's just for him to figure out what to charge.
Charge who?
The customer, but you know
what customer? Wait a minute.
Well, shipper, customer, whatever you want to call it, right?
I know. My point is that are we growing a business here?
I would assume so.
What?
I had a weird phone call right before the show. It was a broker calling and asking us what we would charge to move 3 vehicles from Columbus, Ohio to Dallas, Texas. And I told him $2,400. And he said that was too high. And I said, I don't know what you're doing because that is not high. Ohio is very expensive and Dallas is almost impossible to get out of.
Well, I think that's part of the problem is that it's kind of like, like Republicans talk about liberal cities and how, it's too much riffraff and crime. Well, there's an interesting point about that because if there is too much riffraff and crime, aka the load boards, you can't get business done in a professional manner.
Right. How
are you going to give a professional quote to a company when there's riffraff they can call all day?
Yeah.
And they don't work. It's so weird. They're fine with the riffraff until, Cocaine Bear shows up at the dealership.
Right. Until they can't get the car moved, and then the next thing you know, they're asking for more money
It's
because they should
crazy.
have asked for more money in the first place. Yeah.
How are people that numb? I mean, we just don't do we as people just never learn nothing? Is that what it is?
Well, that's the problem. Like if you've never like moved your own vehicle before, they don't even know how any of this works. So of course they're going to go with somebody cheaper that quotes them half the price of whatever you tell them because cheap is cheap, right? But that doesn't mean it's going to work and they have nothing to look at unless you go watch YouTube videos or
Well,
something like that, right?
and do we have no sense of value anymore? I mean, listen,
Oh,
if I go to book a flight and it's only $40,
you're worried if you're going to make it
they're
there.
like, yeah, dude.
Not.
What is this?
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to be, in the hundreds. If the moving company said, "Yeah, we'll move you," it's $20 cash. What? $20 cash? That can't be right. So why would anybody think that when you move a car, you're going to be dealing in chicken nuggets with, somebody trying to strong arm you? That's the thing. And that's the thing. Well, this is the false advertising, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can tell, like you would know, you're dealing with somebody who they might be acting nice, but there's something wrong here. Like when they say just for you and all this stuff, right? You're falling for just for you? Like, hey buddy, all that? You're falling for that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
That's crazy.
All the time, every day. It's all
this was it. Okay, this is a long one. I'll tell you what. Do me a favor. Will you read this and respond to it? I'll be right back.
Okay. Hi, Jay. I'm new to this, so bear with me. I have a lot of questions. I have my MC and DOT as a freight broker, but I would like to try the dispatching to get more familiar with the industry. Good idea. I have all the credentials that is needed as a broker except for cargo insurances. We don't have cargo insurances. Okay. So I would be able to get a CRM, but which one is better for beginner? I've noticed there are two for auto car haulers, Pro, ABD, and BATS. Which one do you prefer for starters? And do you have access to central dispatch or do you have to pay for that separately? I finally decided that I want to get more information about which is car hauling and noticed that freight and car hauler is totally different. Load boards are all different. So now I'm trying to move forward, possibly build a website and figure out how to market as an auto dispatcher. Is it the same as a freight dispatcher? No. Do I market to car dealerships? How do you market to find drivers? Can you use the FMCSA safety web to find leads for auto car hauler? I appreciate your breakdown of how we're to go about and handle the brokers. There's so much information. How can one remember all in the beginning? How can I get the spreadsheet to keep track of what to do and have before starting dispatching? And also a spreadsheet on how to handle brokers and spreadsheet on the load board we need to have. How do you find a carrier/driver? Do you have a spreadsheet on that? I would like to start next month if I could, so if you could help me, please. I ask gracefully. Thank you. Thanks for sharing your show. Truly appreciate it. So, okay, so let's break this down one thing at a time here. Dispatching and being a broker obviously are two different things. And I have the credentials as needed as a broker.
I know. This is a lot. There's a lot here.
You don't have to have cargo insurance to be a broker. There's no way for you to have cargo insurances to be a broker. You need a broker bond, which is totally different. So you got to get a hold of a bond company to get your bond. And there's different bond companies out there. They're not all created equally, obviously. I use JW Surety. I used to use one that started with a P, which is a really big one, but they're very expensive.
Pacific? PFA?
Yeah, Pacific Financial. That's it. Yeah.
PFA.
And they're very high. I pay a little under $1,000 a year for my broker bond.
JW, wait a minute. JW Surety?
Bond. Yeah.
There's an opportunity. They should come on the show and say hello sometime.
I asked them to, and they didn't want to.
Oh,
I asked them a couple years ago.
This is so funny about, I just want to say this. Sidebar. By the way, shout out to all the lawyers in the audience today. Is that companies don't want to do social media until they're like, well, we need to be cool. And then by the time they arrive at it, it's so not cool. It's like, yeah, go back to what you were doing.
Yeah, they're so behind the time, somebody's already done it.
I mean, so shout out to JW Surety Bonds. Great at bonds, not social media.
Right.
Okay.
Now, if you're a broker, if you want to use a CRM, I think that guy said he used ABD. We know nobody likes bats, so I would say use ABD. I don't use one.
Right. Right. Yeah, you don't use the CRM, do you?
No, I don't. And I probably never will because I'm not a big, huge broker. And unless you're a big broker, I don't know if you really need that, but that's up to you. It says, which one do you prefer? That guy said ABD, so I would go with ABD.
Yeah. Pro ABD, that's Superflow Systems.
Yeah. And so central dispatch, yes, you have to pay that as a broker. As a dispatcher, no, you use the transporter's account. You can't even have a central dispatch account if you're a dispatcher. So let's see what else we got here.
And there's a lot here. What I just want to say, in case this person is watching, I love the depth of the thinking.
Yeah.
I really do. And I'll send you the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, freight and car hauling are totally different, and they do have different load boards, and you have to pay for those load boards, or as a broker, okay? As a transporter, once again, you're using the transporter's load boards. Definitely build a website, either whether you're a dispatcher or a broker, I would do it, because it's cheap to do a website.
Oh, yeah,
anyways,
definitely. Yeah, everybody should have a website.
And now it says how to market as an auto
even if it's
dispatcher.
WordPress.
Right.
Just have one.
Yeah, and that's all mine is too.
Yeah, me too.
$300 a year, it's a cheap way to do it. Just do it. It says how to market. So it's, I guess, I don't know how, as a dispatcher, for both
this
of
is a
those?
good question. Exactly. How do I market? But I tell you what, see, that's what's interesting. How do I market to car dealers?
Yeah.
This is actually what Ty talks about on Fridays, is talking to dealers. There is newsflash. There is almost no downside to talking to dealers.
Right. The only thing you're going to find out is almost anywhere now, all the dealers have their own accounts on Central and do it themselves.
So the downside is you might feel rejection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to get some rejection. And here's the thing is, and I'll tell you, this is interesting because me and Ty, we're going to have a future show about the dealer stuff, is that this is how, when you go to a dealership, if you go to work for a dealership, man, they will beat you up.
Right.
Because you're selling cars. And if you can't get beat up a little and sell cars, you're out of there. You're going to go do something else.
Right.
So when you're talking to a dealer, that's the way they're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to know that. I think that's actually one of the things that's also failed to be talked about in auto transport.
Yeah, how to talk to people.
You need to know the mindset of the dealer. Yep. This is a high-pressure industry.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And it's not that it's not personal, but this is how they are. So, how do I market to car dealers? First of all, get ready, hit the gym. Have somebody punch you. All right?
Yeah,
it's Fight Club. Okay?
You're going to be punched down a lot.
Yeah. That's just part of it.
I mean, if this was 10 years ago, you could walk into dealerships and set these up left and right? But not anymore.
No.
They're doing it all themselves now.
And they're, what's interesting too is when you talk to dealers, man, a lot of these guys work out. There is a cult. I mean, you got, and so you have to know the culture. All right. That was interesting.
So now, as far as finding leads for auto car haulers, I don't know about.
I know, right?
Website. I don't know if I'd do that.
How would you find?
Advertise well, and see there. You can advertise on Central. I don't know if you have to have an account to advertise on Central. I don't even know if anybody even pays attention to that anymore either.
No. It just actually it looks bad.
And the other way would be going to Facebook. There's several transporter Facebook accounts.
But what about just going to transport parking lots?
You can. I've had my guys go
Right?
to Mannheim, Copart, IAA, hand out my
Yeah.
business cards or make a flyer. There's different ways to go about it. And advertising, you can advertise on Facebook for drivers too. I mean, you've got a Facebook account, you're just going to have to pay for it. It is difficult to find drivers, especially if you've never done this before. You have to convince them that you are trustworthy because there's a huge trust factor in there. It's not just about the fact that you're handling their money, their bank accounts, stuff like that. It's also whether they trust that you're going to keep them loaded as much as possible with the best rates.
Amen. Yeah.
And that you're verifying the cars like you're supposed to and putting them in the pickup and delivery order. And don't get me wrong, people screw up. We all make mistakes, but that's not what they're worried about. They're worried about, do you really know what you're doing? And if you've never done this before, it's really going to be hard for you to talk with any kind of confidence to a transporter for them to trust you to give you a chance.
Well, and they're not, and that's the thing.
Out.
It's kind of like, and this is like door-to-door vacuum sales, is that
Right.
they're not going to trust you.
Right.
You have to
First
win the
inclination
trust.
their first inclination is you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So what you're going to want to do is, before you go to the transport parking lot, find your grumpiest friend
yeah, talk
and
to
try
them.
to win them over.
Yeah. And convince them into letting
Yeah.
you dispatch for them.
And I know
You're gonna need knowledge.
role
too.
play is embarrassing and it sucks, but you're going to have some game.
Yes, you're going to have knowledge of the industry. You're going to have knowledge of what the rates are, which is going to be virtually impossible for you without having a central dispatch account.
Well, and that's the other problem. Exactly. How do you hit the ground running?
It's hard.
And this is why it bothers me so much. This is why it bothers me so much that there's all these the YouTube video people like saying, oh yeah, like the guy with the question mark jumping around on the Capitol steps and you're going to get your copper pot. Like, dude, no, why are you thinking that that's possible?
Right.
It's not impossible. It's just not likely.
Right. And as far as spreadsheets go, they must be a spreadsheet person. They talk about it a lot. I don't use spreadsheets. I mean, we get calls. We have a, what do we call it? I've got a sheet when people call in that we fill out. We ask them, who they heard us from.
Like a profile, right?
Basically, it's called the new driver application. And we fill it all out as much as we can from them. And we write the date of when they called us, and then we'll see and we'll send them the packet if they want the packet. Sometimes they don't want our packet. They want to call around. And even if you get the packet, sometimes they don't even sign up either. So, I mean, I don't know.
And
unless you're talking to a whole lot of people, I don't know if you need a spreadsheet.
Before we lose Roberto, in case he needs to go, I want to answer
yeah.
this question. How to verify the cars?
So
great question. Thank you. There's a link to Dispatcher Training Series, Sue.
Yeah, so verifying the cars, it depends on where it's at. If it's a dealership, you're calling. Usually if it's a used car, a new car, you're going to ask for the used car manager, the new car manager. You always get the name. Always get their name. No matter what, always get their name.
And
I also
it down.
write on there usually what time we talk to them at.
Yeah.
You want to verify the VIN number.
Doug,
you want to verify the type of car.
323, March 9th. Yes.
Yeah.
Said it was there. Said it was in part. Said it was around back. Said it was on the side of the store. Said the keys are on the left wheel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're going to also verify with them what their hours are. You want to verify the address that you were given in case it's wrong. You want to ask them if there's a certain place for your driver to park so that they don't get in trouble or get stuck. You want to ask those kind of questions.
So good.
And then so that's a dealership. Now, residence is different. Residence is you're calling to before I even call.
Know your location.
Yes, I look it up and make sure if the driver can even get in and out of there. If they can't, I'm already going to tell them.
Mailboxes.
Right.
Light posts.
Yeah, the
angry neighbors.
Wires, yeah.
Whatever.
So you're going to ask them, if you know ahead of time you're not going to be able to get in there, you just tell them straight up, I'm sorry, my driver is in excess of 70 feet long. We're not fitting in your area.
So when you talk to them, have purpose.
Right.
Don't be
right.
Stop that.
And listen to me. You'll get these people after you've already looked up and you know you can't get in and out of there.
We're going to be picking
They're going
up.
to tell you
delivering.
that you can fit in the area.
Yeah.
And that's what they're going to say. They're going to, well, you can fit in this area. No, no, ma'am, no, sir. I'm sorry, we cannot. We are in excess of 70 feet long. We cannot get in and out. So can you meet us at this place or whatever? And usually most everybody nowadays are like, that's fine. I can meet you at the Walmart. I just want a 2-hour notice. And usually with residents, you want to give them, ask them, do you want a 1 hour, 2 hour notice? So they're not off doing their hair someplace when you call, you know what I mean? And you're right there. And
Can
I
you
have
feel
that.
it? Well, this is the gym right here. This is dispatching Jim live, man. Woo!
So after you do
Loving it.
that, still the same thing. You want to verify the address and stuff like that. Make sure that the car runs and drives. If you get any hint at all that they're lying to you about whether that car runs and drives,
Amen. Somebody's gonna lie somewhere.
they do it. And
Yes.
you'll hear the hesitation in their voice. Once you've done this a few times, you're going to know they're probably lying to you, right? So,
No,
I would
we're
usually
not.
say,
We're not at the airport now.
yeah.
No.
And I don't know how many times they're like, "Oh, it has to run and drive." Yes, it has to run and drive. We do not have a winch. So if I get
So,
any
like,
kind of
does a
hesitation from
ditch
them,
count as the driveway?
yeah, I will say to them, "Look, sir, if this doesn't run and drive, I just want you to know we do not have a winch. We will be charging you
But
$150
we'll help
dry
push
run
it on.
fee."
We'll help push it
Oh
on.
God, I had someone tell me that the other day. A big, huge Lexus. Oh, we'll help push it on. No, it doesn't work like that. Anyway, so that's one of the things you want to watch for, and that's also for delivery too. Just so you know, you always want to verify that for your driver on a residence that they can get in and out, and if not, make their arrangements. Your next place for pickup is going to be IAA Copart. So Copart, you're verifying with, you can go online, you can look at the pictures of the cars, and you can see if it's got no keys, if it runs and drives. And just so you know, most everything at Copart now does not run and drive, whether they say it does or not. So just keep that in the back of your head. You have to make an appointment with Copart for your driver, or the driver does it themselves. I have some that do it themselves, and then some we do for them. You have a 30-minute window for Copart after like the time. If you set your appointment up at 1, you have to check in within 30 minutes. Usually they'll kick you out if you don't. There is a trick to it that we do. If my driver's running a little bit behind, I'll go mark that he's there because you know they're not ready, and let them know that he's sitting in the parking lot. So it gives you a little bit more of a window. IAA, you can go to autoastat.com and you can look at the pictures of the vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Now you want to sign up for an account because and it's free. And if you have an account, then you can look at multiple pictures. If you don't have an account, you can only look at the first 4 pictures. And you want to look at as many pictures as you want because you want to see if the wheel's missing or something's fallen off here, or the windshield's broken. You just stuff you want to know, okay? And from AutoAstat, then you got to call IAA and make sure it's paid for. There's no storage. And by the way, you do this with Copart as well. Because storage at IAA is $40 a day. Copart is different. It starts out at $5, $10, $15. Until it gets to 30, then it's $30 a day. And like what we were talking about, you're responsible if you don't pick up on the day that you're supposed to. If they put exactly on a certain day, make sure you pick up that day. Otherwise, you can be held responsible for that storage if you didn't pick up on the day you're supposed to. The only other places that you might pick up from is going to be at the port, really, right?
And you're doing,
Some of
you
them
got
require
dealers. Did you
Yeah.
do auctions, Gate Pass?
Oh, auctions, Mannheim and
Yeah.
Odessa. Okay, so those are gate pass companies. So Odessa you don't usually get a gate pass. But Mannheim and almost all the places, they want you to carry them in now because since COVID, they want you to do it now. You don't have to do it except for in Ocoee and Orlando, Mannheim. They are super strict. I think up in, what was it, Miami too? Miami, they want you to
Strict
walk in
about
with
what are
them.
they doing?
So
Strict
you
about?
have to walk in with that gate pass. Now,
Oh yeah.
every place else I've never had a problem with. I can even call 1-800-Mannheim number and they will send that gate pass down to the guard shack
Really?
driver. Yeah.
Oh, no
And
kidding.
makes it
Wow,
easy
that's
peasy.
impressive.
But do it right before your driver is going to get there because otherwise they throw them away.
I
The
have
guard shack, just
not-
so everybody knows, the guard shack
Yeah.
is not Mannheim. They are hired out security people.
That's such a good point. You assume the guard shack is associated.
for-
I always
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And then you learn the hard way.
That they're not. And they do
Yeah,
not
no.
care.
They do
not
security
care.
at concerts and
Yeah.
guard shacks.
Guard
and,
shacks. And
you
they
know,
don't
whatever,
care.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
you
that-
can't get the car? Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks.
That's too bad. Yeah, that's what they
But
say.
anyways, all right, well, I'm clocking out.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes down too.
Yeah, man.
And so, anyway, so watch out for that stuff. What else? We talked. Okay, so the port thing, like I said, you had to have a TWIC on most of them to pull the car out of there. Some of them you don't. I'm not sure which ones. I don't do ports, so I really couldn't tell you specifically who doesn't require a TWIC card to pull a car. Maybe Amports in Baltimore. I think that might be the only one.
And I think that
Miami.
there's a port
Miami
in
one.
Freeport in Houston may not have a TWIC.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you had a
Something
TWIC
like that. Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, that'll kind
Anyways.
of give you the idea. Sorry, I
But
may have given
when
you
you
too
hear
much information.
port, think TWIC,
Yeah.
escort,
Yes.
and if you're new, if it's your first time,
Yes.
don't book it.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
do it.
and I honestly, picking up
I
from
learned
a
the hard
port
way,
is
man.
way easier
Dude.
than delivering to a
I'm like,
port.
yeah,
Keep
send
that
over
up.
the dock receipt. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. The only port I go to is the
I mean-
one in Wilmington, Delaware, because it's easy peasy. You're in and
Okay.
out within 10 minutes. There's
Only
no...
book port if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
For real.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true. So.
Yep. That was great stuff. Roberto's like, yeah, I got it. That was a lot of information. I'm full. I need a nap now,
Sorry.
you guys.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. That was awesome. But it comes down to what I like is to answer the question, you have to know the location.
Right. A lot of it makes a huge difference. It really
makes
does.
all the difference. And that's where I like when you're new, you're like, hi, I'm calling to verify a pickup. And
Yep.
they're like, the dealership's like,
you
what
talking
department do you need?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to call about a car.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and see, too,
It's hard.
there's sometimes, like, if you get a car from Cars Arrive at a dealer, it's usually always the lease return department. But they don't put it on there. You just have to know that stuff.
That's
It's stuff
right.
you learn as you're doing this stuff.
In fact, part of the reason they don't put it on there is they want to know that somebody knows what they're doing. I mean,
guess.
it's not the only, but
Yeah.
and that's part of the unwritten rule in auto transport. It's assumed you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It is, and that is just assumed. In fact, this is where, like, I've said this to big broker companies is, listen, if you're going to lowball and assume, something's not going to work out.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yep. I agree.
I'm just warning you, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm just telling you. If you post it at 30 cents a mile and you assume there won't be any trouble, boy, oh boy. I'm like, I don't know how you got this far thinking that way.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But good luck with that.
Yeah.
Have a good time. We're almost near the end of the show. Freeport did not require a TWIC. Okay, yeah, so Vance has that's Freeport in Houston. And did you say that Galveston is no longer... Did somebody say Galveston's no longer...
I don't know.
port
You know
or
what?
whatever?
I just thought about that. I haven't seen a Galveston load in forever. It's either
Somebody... I don't know who said... Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
guess
right.
Galveston's not... I don't know.
Maybe the last hurricane took them out.
Right? I mean, what
Could have
happened?
happened.
I don't know.
But Freeport is the one down there that you showed the video last year that they were miles lined up to go.
Oh
to
my
Freeport.
God, was that
was
free?
that one.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
jeez.
Freeport. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What
Don't
was
do
that
it.
problem? Was that COVID?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe that's why Galveston.
By the
went out of
way,
business.
did you
I
hear
don't
that
know.
COVID didn't come from a wombat?
Oh, where did it come from now?
Have you heard this?
No, I
We'll
haven't.
end the show this way. So COVID really did come from a lab. Like,
From China, right?
so
Well, we
here's
thought
what's
all
funny.
along.
We'll end with this. We don't talk politics, but cat's out of the bag. World's gone crazy. Is that everybody said, not everybody, but a lot of people were like, hey, I don't want to do this. I don't want this vaccine. I don't want to wear this mask. Somebody's lying to us. It came from a lab. Okay, a lot of people said that a couple of years ago. Guess what? Came from a lab. There's a giant cover-up now. And you don't have to believe, you don't have to believe, I mean, you can believe whatever you want. I don't care. People can believe whatever they want. It doesn't matter. They already do. Life is a wrestling ring. But, yeah, COVID came from a lab.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we all suspected, but we've been
Which
given
means
false
that,
information.
yeah, like, you just have to be on your toes. Because,
Too bad.
you don't have to, well, This is what's amazing, is that it actually, the story that it came from an animal at a wet market near the lab, like that story worked for a while.
Yeah.
That was a narrative that worked for a while.
Right.
Turns out that narrative was BS all along.
Well, yeah. Well, also them saying they only had, what was it, 10,000 people that were sick, and then we have millions over here, right? That was all.
Well, this is why what I really want to know is, why does China have so many COVID camps? Why are they so ahead on the COVID camps curve?
Yeah.
They're ready to put like 1,000, or I'm sorry, they're ready to put like over 100,000 people in like trailers and COVID camps. What? Why? Why do you?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess we should be glad that Copart is a mess and a nightmare. I mean, we're lucky. If that's as bad as it gets, shoot.
Yeah.
Give me a Copart nightmare any day, right? Over COVID camps and wet markets and I bring this up because I know that, I mean, this is what, we've just done 90 minutes of dispatching live advice. The mind spins, and this is what, this is something that drivers and brokers and carriers and people at water coolers really want to talk about. So, on Dispatching Live on ATI, we'll wrap it up. But we are here to provide information in auto transport because it is such a mess. But when you look at the globe, I guess it makes sense why this industry is such a mess. Everything's a total mess.
Yeah.
It just is. I don't know why. And the grocery store prices, they're not going back down.
No.
So grocery store prices aren't going back down. We've all been lied to. And shippers will continue to get shafted day after day. So I don't know what we do about it all. But if there's one place where you can get the truth, it's ATI.
Yeah. I'm getting hacked right now off of Central Dispatch on one of my drivers. Just giving everybody, better watch it. Something's going on.
What happened?
One of my accounts just said the password has changed, and they can't even do that without going to my email. And it just said, I got to call support and tell them we never changed this. Somebody's trying to hack us.
So somebody's trying to hack? Is it because of this show, or what's going on? What do you think's going on?
This just came across. Yeah, something's going on. Everybody needs to watch their accounts. Something's happening between uShip and Central. This is really odd. I got to call Central as soon as we get off the phone and find out what's going on.
All right. Well,
that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, help us hold the fort. It's ATI out of business. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, saying hello. Really appreciate everybody in the live chat. Thank you for all the likes. Please share, comment, subscribe. There's got to be somewhere we can go to actually share the truth. So let's make it ATI. All right. I appreciate you guys. What do we say, office?
What do we say, everybody? Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. And thanks all the lawyers for watching today in the live chat. Really do appreciate you guys. Take care. See ya.